asleep amidst the trees. Bats all are swaying in the breeze. But one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths. For your dolly Polly sleep has flown, don't dare let her tremble alone. For the wheelchair, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He comes, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe. It's all silent for the night. Cows turn green as daylight dies. But when so light anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths, my dear Dolly Polly.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Haunted Connection show. I hope you're all well. We're bringing this to you from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley, Leicester, and we are sponsored by Sims Vintage Antiques in Wootton Warren near Stratford. So a big hello. Now we were supposed to have Tom Bookmaster with us today, but unfortunately he can't join us tonight. So we are going to have a discussion on live feeds in the paranormal and open it up as a bit of a Q&A session. So if you've got any questions, any thoughts, anything that you want to share with us, then please put it all in the comments. And Neil and myself will do the best we can to answer them.
We will.
So how are you, Neil?
I feel better than I did yesterday. I think I was just so shattered yesterday from all the work I've been doing.
Yeah, you are working hard.
I was working hard, 13-hour days. I'm too old for that sort of lark. Plus, we've announced when the centre is going to reopen, and the booking has been absolutely crazy, absolutely ridiculous, which is good.
Yeah, it's good news.
We're even getting bookings for next year.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, and I've not even got yet next year's calendar yet.
Well, it's been a long time, hasn't it, since people have sort of really been up at the centre investigating, and I know the energy up at the centre is buzzing. It's absolutely electric. You know, sometimes I can sort of do pop up now and again, and you can just feel the vibrational energy in the place is just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's.
So do you think when teams go back then, it's going to be over the top activity wise?
Yeah, I do think there has been a bit of a shift in the energy, and I think this year towards springtime, perhaps in the equinox, I think there's going to be another shift of energy, and I think it's all going to be good for the paranormal investigator once they get back out into these places.
Cool. So like Jane said, if you've got any questions for us, we will answer them. So now Martin says, now all jobs are done, I'm back.
Oh, well, welcome back, Martin.
Yeah.
Got all your jobs finished.
All I can say is, how can we follow from the confession show? It's if you not watch the confession show, it's just one mad hour.
Well, normally it would have been on after this show, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But it's sort of swapped round because you're working and that. So normally it would have been on a bit later on. But it's always such a good laugh. And tonight it was mainly all the presenters' confessions, and it was our annual. It was our first year, our annual show. So yeah,
can you believe that? Can you believe it's been ongoing for a year?
I know.
And it's not been banned.
Yeah. And we've not been blocked or chucked off Facebook.
It's amazing. So anyway, let's talk about live feeds, Jane. What's your opinion on live feeds?
Oh, well, I think there's sort of like a double-edged sword with this one, isn't there? On the sort of the good side, through lockdown, it has kept everybody with that little bit of a paranormal fix. It's kept everybody in touch. It's allowed people to sort of still be involved in some investigations or paranormal stuff that's been going on. And that's the good side. But on the other side, you know, there's some people sharing some rubbish. You know, some of the live feeds can be so misleading, and you know, if they're not done within sort of the guidelines and stuff. You know, we know there's teams been out in while the lockdown's been on, and there's a lot of rule breaking been going on. And some of the stuff that's shown on live feeds isn't always genuine. And some of the rubbish that people are coming out with, you know, I hope that people don't actually believe some of the stuff. So there's good and bad on both sides of it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Let's put Irene's comment up. Irene from Japan. She's a regular watcher of ours.
Yeah.
Irene says, in Japan, antiques are not sold to anyone or estate jewelry due to the owner's energy left on the items. Only family members receive antiques from the family.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So that sort of fits in what we do at the centre, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the energy left on the item.
Yeah, and a lot of it is the belief, isn't it? Your belief system as to how you regard spirit, how you regard your ancestors' spirits, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where in culture, you know, in our culture, so many people just sort of dismiss it because you know we've not always been brought up to believe in spirit. You know, we've been brought up really quite blinkered, haven't we, with that sort of thing that we're all separated and that don't exist, and you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Bloss is watching, so evening Bloss.
Evening Bloss.
Martin says, can you let me know what dates you got free next month to come for a visit? We don't actually open until June to the general public on a Saturday. So I'll put it on again. I think it's June. It's the Saturday after June the 21st is when we're allowed to open properly.
Yeah, just a little bit longer. Just got to be a little bit more patient. Just hang on in there, and it will soon come round.
So we're nearly there. So how desperate are you, Jane, on a scale of 1 to 10, to get back and doing some work at the centre?
Probably about a 12. No, I am quite keen to get back, but obviously we've just got to pace, you know, steady ourselves. We've got to can't do too much all in one go, and you know, we've got to sort of plan it and make sure we're doing the right thing and stick within all the guidelines and everything else. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Bloss says we'll be there. Yeah. And the new banister will be there for when you come, Bloss.
Oh. It's
not there yet, but it will be there. So, and of course, March sees the start of lots of new live feeds from the centre, from HAPRC as well. We've got lots of new presenters.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing it all.
Some old shows coming back.
Yeah.
So you've got, how many you got, Jane? Yeah, I think you got 4, 5.
Yes. Well, my sort of regular slot is going to be on a Thursday at 9 o'clock, and each week I will be covering a different topic. So the first Thursday of the month, I will be covering doing behind the storybook again, looking into the truths and oranges. Truth and orange. Oh God, truth and origins of some of our well-known stories and tales. Yeah. Second Thursday, I think it's the demons and angels.
Yeah.
The third Thursday of the month will be the witching hour. So where we were formerly doing the loose witches, now I'm just going to do that on a Thursday evening, just the witching hour. And the fourth Friday,
Thursday.
Fourth Thursday. I think chemo's fried my brain.
I think she's lost the plot a little bit tonight. It's the confession show that's done it.
Yeah. On the fourth Thursday of the month, I will be looking doing the Fae Files about fairies and stories and stuff like that. So, but on the months where there's a fifth Thursday, I will be doing ad hoc things. I've already sort of looked at a few things. One of the things I might do is numerology, and perhaps something like the Tree of Life, sort of covering different topics like that as a one-off.
Yeah, cool. Von says she's looking forward to it all. And then she says, I enjoyed the storybooks.
Yeah, I enjoyed researching them and doing that, because you don't realise we take a lot of fairy tales and stories and that just for granted because that's how they've been printed. But over the years, they've been interpreted and rewritten and everything else to be sort of more politically correct or to fit in more with society and things like that. So the origins can be quite sort of scary and quite grim, some of them.
Cool. So is it this Thursday's first one?
Yes, it is.
So you're going to give us a clue what it's going to be about? Or are we going to watch?
Yeah, I'm looking at the minute about Noah and the flood.
Cool. John says the Oranges of Fairy Tales. Look forward to that one. Wendy says juicy stories. So yeah, there's loads and loads of shows coming up, and we've got mediums coming on doing readings and all sorts. And
yeah, there's spirit hours, isn't there? There's several mediums, isn't there, doing different things, which is going to be great. I'm also bringing back the Me Time meditation. I think that's on Sundays at 9 o'clock, but that will probably be pre-recorded. But we're just looking at that at the moment. When I look at the shows, because I've got them 4 different shows, and then I've got the Me Time meditation, which is 5, and then with the Haunted Connections podcast, that's 6, 7 confessions, that's 8.
Yeah, it could be a busy lady.
Yeah, I enjoy it though. It's all stuff I enjoy doing.
See, you shouldn't have had that year holiday, should you?
Yeah, it's my own fault.
You've got to cram it all back in soon now. So please ask us any questions you want about the centre. There are still. Go on.
Carry on.
No, you go on.
I'm just going to say there are some really good shows coming up. I mean, they're all going to be good shows, but we've sort of widened the diversity, haven't we, of the shows? We've got demonology, we've got so we've got the spiritual stuff coming in. There's lots of other different shows, talk shows, chat shows. It's going to be great because every night between 7 and 10, those slots are almost going to be finished at full.
Yeah, full. Yeah, that's the intention. There are a few still free, so if anyone fancies doing their own show, let me know. I'm sure we'll fit you in. So there's no more comments yet coming in. Of course, if you belong to a team and you fancy booking the centre for an investigation, there are no free Saturdays left the rest of the year, which is good news. There are some Fridays and some Sundays. It's just that we've got to be careful because we would actually like to do things at the centre as well, wouldn't we? Yeah,
we would. We have got quite a few things planned, but we're lucky enough where we can perhaps go up in the day and do some if there's a team in the evening.
Yeah, because we can always record out what we're, especially one. I think one should be recorded to start off with anyway.
Yeah.
Wendy says, sounds great. Thank you. And spread the word. So what are the plans you got, Jane?
Oh, well, we've got a few sort of projects that we want to do up at the centre once the centre's open. So not only are we sort of got the shows that we're doing, we're also planning for stuff up at the centre, aren't we? So we're not going to sort of give away a lot of details straight away.
No.
But we are planning different things. There's some different experiments coming up. There's going to be seances. There's going to be a series of experiments coming up, perhaps on a fortnightly basis, that you'll be able to watch. So that's some of that's coming together now. There's also going to be ad hoc experiments, and there's going to be all sorts of things. So not only are you going to have the live feeds on the HAPRC live feed channel, there's also going to be lots of additional content coming up once we can get back up at the centre.
Yeah, it's going to be so
And some
exciting.
of it is going to be a bit controversial, and some of it may invite perhaps people or some comments or thoughts or, you know, ideas that that some of it's going to be a bit unconventional, I think, but we want to test the waters and we want to see what's there.
Unconventional is an understatement, I think.
Yeah, but we've had a year off, so we're all right. We can handle it.
Yeah, I'm quite nervous about one, I must admit. The other series we've planned it 2 years ago, didn't we? And we're not telling people what it is yet, but we had the idea 2, 3, perhaps even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
About doing this series, but it's never happened. But it's going to happen this year. So lots and lots coming up. So please add your comments. Oh, Phil says I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good. That's all I'll say. Totally different from anything you've ever seen before. But one especially, we are going to record at least the first few because we don't quite know how they're going to turn out, do we?
No.
So
going into uncharted territory.
It is definitely uncharted territory. So we want to make sure we can actually show it on YouTube first anyway. We just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Some of it, I think, will have to be done prior to the actual live feed.
Yeah. Von says, I'm hoping to get my pod room and other things all happening this month. But after that, a lot of different things going on, so can plan things from April. I need to go to the Centre for an Investigation. It'll be nice to meet you, Von.
Yeah.
And then she says she's excited.
Yeah.
John says, unconventional, not a term I would associate with you two. I think he's conventional is boring. Yes, definitely. And Phil says, here be monsters.
Yes. Let's hope so.
Von says, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. And some of the other stuff that we're going to be doing, I've had some equipment especially made for some of these experiments. So I'm hoping that's going to work.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Bloss says, if it's Neil's idea, it will be crazy. Actually, Bloss, it's not my idea. This one especially is Jane's idea. So Jane is going to get the full blame for this one. But I think I do actually think this one is the craziest idea ever. Isn't it, Jane?
But it's not just going to be once, is it? We're going to be, hopefully, if we, you know, this is probably going to be going on every fortnight for probably the next 2 years. Yeah. Because it's a long-term experiment project, whatever you want to call it, and we want to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it depends what happens. If it works, it will go on for 2 years, maybe. If it doesn't work,
We'll
It
do
won't go
something
on.
else.
We'll do something else. Then Bloss says, "Don't believe you." It is. It's because you all know it's normally me that comes up with the crazy ideas. But Jane messaged me one day and she says, "I've got a crazy idea." And I thought, yeah, that is crazy. Von says it's something extraordinary. If it's Jane's idea, it would be great.
Yes.
It will be.
If Carlsberg
made ideas,
experimental for the HAPRC, this is it.
Phil says look forward to it. Von says it will be totally out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so. Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. I'm expecting a bit of a backlash for it, but then again, if we don't test the waters, we need to try and understand some of this stuff. Don't we?
Yeah, we will get some backlash. Bloss says, Jane, are you leaving him with Anna?
No.
Well, put it this way, Bloss. For me to stay in the Chamber of Fear on my own with Anna, that would be easy compared to what we're doing. Is that right, Jane?
Yeah.
Von says, oh my God, we will be floating around the atmosphere. Who knows? I'm looking forward to that. I've got every confidence. I've got every confidence and faith in you, Jane.
Yeah. It's something I want to do. I really want to test the waters with this and just challenge what all the beliefs are that we've been channeled to believing all this time, and I just want to challenge that.
Yeah. So have you got this idea? We're not saying what it is. Have you got this idea from Spirit?
Yes. Because I feel it's the.
You didn't sound that convincing then.
Yes, it is from Spirit. Because I was a bit. I say it took a bit of a. It took a while, if you like, to sort of think it through and think how we were going to do it and stuff. So, yeah, it's but it is controversial, but it's going to be up to the next level, I think.
Mm-hmm.
For our, for our, I wouldn't say up to the next level in everybody else's touch, because I think most people would think we're mad, but for our paranormal path, for our journey, I think this is the next level up for us.
Yep. Von says, oh my God. Bloss says, can't wait. And John says, sounds interesting. Yeah, can't wait. Oh, then Bloss says, sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
So when are we going to start filming this one series then, Jane? Because you've got an idea for that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, the date we were aiming for was March the 28th, I think, which is a super crow moon that night. So the energy is going to be really quite good.
So what's a super crow moon?
Well, it's a crow moon anyway, full moon. It's a crow moon, but it's a super moon where it's, it's much brighter and much it's just more than a normal sort of full moon.
Okay, cool. So obviously that's not when you'll be able to see it. That's when we will be doing it and filming it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We may perhaps film them a week in advance. Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Wendy says, sounds terrifying. You got it there, Wendy.
I laugh in the face of fear.
Yeah. I must admit I am a bit nervous about it.
Yeah. But we're also looking at doing something else on the 20th of March.
Yeah.
which is going to be the spring equinox. So all the energy is going to be, quite raised then. So, we're just thrashing out at the minute the details of the 20th of March. So that could possibly be the first one that we do, which is in about a fortnight, I think.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we are allowed to be working at the centre then, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because it's our place of work. Phil says, interesting, not terrifying.
No, I think that's how we sort of look at it, really. I'm not scared of it. I'm more interested because I want to find out I want to find the truth. I want to find out what's really there.
When says go for it, yeah, we are definitely going to do it. And Bloss says, has Julie got you insured, man? Sorry?
So Julie doesn't know anything about it.
No, Julie just reminded me that she doesn't know anything about this.
Know anything about it.
I'll tell her later. One says not long to wait yet. Yeah, so all good stuff. And of course, we're in June. We've got the Parameet, the summer solstice, come along.
Yeah.
And I think we've decided it's going to be on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, ending on the summer solstice, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And on something else to look forward to. And on the summer solstice, we've got a pagan ritual being performed.
Yeah, which would be great.
So that would be good fun. So if you got any small teams would like to be part of the Parameet, send me a message. Bloss says, be brave, Julie. Yeah, might include Julie in it then. So, more comments. Von says fantastic. Wendy says good stuff. So it's all happening. So
Yeah,
what else are you looking forward to, Jane?
Pardon?
What else are you looking forward to?
Oh, I'm looking forward to the events up at the centre when we can get back up there and get the events going again, because we've got Penny Griffiths-Morgan coming for a chat, haven't we? She's coming to do a talk for us. And also Kate Ray, she's going to come and do a talk on the fairies, isn't she?
Yeah, now we know the dates. We can open. The dates are going to be confirmed.
Yeah, and we've got an afternoon tea booked, so I'm looking forward to that. So there's a group of us.
You'll have to remind me of the date for that one, Jane, because I can't remember.
Yeah, so we've got an afternoon tea, but also there's the other things, isn't there, that we were sort of planning in, things like the film nights and investigation with guests and things. And there's so many things. There's the academy for the teens, and there's just so many things that the centre is sort of doing. It was all put on hold more or less for a year, and it's just going to be so good to just get back up there and start doing it. Hopefully, this will be the last lockdown, and we can, the country will be sort of phased out of it in a way that we won't have to do it again. So
would you believe the centre has only been open 3 months out of the last 13?
Yeah, I can believe that.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bloss says, love the sound of that. And John says, hope you are not sky-clad for the pagan ritual, Neil. I don't quite know what that means, to be honest, John. Phil says, pagan rituals and afternoon tea, how civilized. We like to be different. I actually watched you remember when, not long after we first opened, Phil Wyman and Are You Haunted team came to the centre? Me and Julie watched that this afternoon, and I couldn't believe how much the centre's changed.
Yeah, it's like a continually evolving, I don't know, like organism, isn't it? It's continually sort of moving forward, and it's like a living being. It's constantly, it never stands still, really.
And Phil and Sarah messaged me after I put the post on Facebook, and they are doing they're doing a chat tonight, same time as this, and they are talking about the centre.
Oh, I'll have to go back and watch that then.
You can go back and watch Are You Haunted Ghost Chat called, I think it's called Ghost Chat. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Go and watch that, and they will be talking a bit about the centre. John says naked. In that case, John, no, I will not be sky clad for the ritual.
I think that's a different sort of live feed, John.
That's the sort of live feed for the confession show. So yeah, what else you want to talk about, Jane?
So you've mentioned about the Parameet, haven't you? All the other things that are coming up. So I think I just want to say a big welcome as well to all the new presenters that are doing all the live feeds, because a lot of them wouldn't have done their shows yet. You know, we're only at the start of the month, and it's just so good to have so many new presenters on board, so many sort of like-minded people that all share in the same mindset that we're all in, and it's going to be great seeing all their new shows and just saying a big welcome to them all, really.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Bloss says every time you go to the centre it's different. Yeah it's changed since we last went in lockdown, so
yeah. And one of the things that I really like about the centre is the fact that, you know, we know there's sort of a core of the regular sort of spirits there, but the amount of spirits that are coming in and out all the time, it's just amazing. And there's dozens of them there. It's not, you know, there's not just this small little cluster.
Yeah, and we're also going to be doing the seances. They're not going to be weekly. We're going to fit a seance in when we can, because it's just trying to find time to fit everything in. We need a 9-day week, I think, going forward.
Yeah. Well, where are we now? We're in March, aren't we? So you've only got, 9 months left? So you're trying to fit 18 months worth of stuff into now 9 months, aren't you?
Yeah.
Last 18 months worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Into the next 9 months.
And there was some sad news in the paranormal field came out yesterday that Drakelow Tunnels has closed down.
Yeah. I mean, we went there a few times, didn't we? But to be honest, once I've done somewhere a couple of times, I always like to sort of move on to new places where I've not been before. You know, and although it's a nice place, I can't say that I feel sort of, you know, really heartbroken that it's closed, because I probably wouldn't have gone back there anyway, because I think I feel like I've sort of exhausted what I could possibly do there. So for me, it's moving on to new and exciting, you know, places where I've not been before.
Yeah. Okay, Phil says, has that changed with lockdown? Do you mean the centre, Phil? So that's changed. Do you think the centre's changed during the lockdown?
I think so. I think there's been a lot of there's definitely been a recent shift in energy, and I think they're because some of the things that we sort of set going have been allowed to just go and go and go, haven't they? Since we've not been there, and I do think that they would have drawn in a lot of energy, and I think last time you went up there, you said that the seance room felt completely different.
The seance room felt awful.
So the energies up there, I think, are going to be really pleased to see us. I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be quite, active and wanting to engage.
Yeah, definitely. Bloss says she loved one of the seances when Spirits from the Street came through.
Yeah, that was
awesome, wasn't
it? We haven't experienced anything like that before, and it was there was something out. Was it the Hinkley Fair or something? Or something was going on in the High Street, wasn't there? And the amount of spirit activity coming through the centre was just unreal. It's like they'd all gathered there with their loved ones in the street, and as soon as the event was over and everyone were going home, so were all the spirits, and it was like they were all sort of coming through the centre.
Yeah, that was because we did it in the new tea room, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was like we were sitting in the highway of everybody going home.
Yeah, brilliant. Keep coming in the comments, everybody. There's quite a few watching. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back, meeting all the teams again. Spending Saturdays up there, having a laugh. It's going to be awesome. I must admit, I was a bit like a kid leading up to Christmas when he announced that when we can reopen.
Yeah.
So
it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? When you look back, you wouldn't think it's been as long as it has. You wouldn't think it's been a year.
It doesn't feel a year, does it now?
No, time soon marches on, and it doesn't wait for anybody, does it? It'll still keep going on regardless of what we mere mortals are doing.
Mere mortals. Right, no more comments. So obviously when we do open, we will be COVID safe. So everyone's temperature will be taken as they come in. And also what I will do is if the temperature when people come in is high, they can take a rapid test at the centre. And if that's negative, they can come in. Obviously, if it's positive, they can't come in. But that's only if the temperatures are high. So it's a bit of a backup. We're not going to be using mugs. We're going to be using disposable mugs. So there's not so much touching of things. And they've got sachets of sugar, sachets of coffee, that sort of thing. So
you can do everything you can, can't you, to try and keep people safe, but people have got to use a bit of common sense as well. If they're not feeling well, and then they really shouldn't come, should they? If they're not feeling well and they've got the COVID symptoms, then they really shouldn't come.
Yeah, anyone with any COVID symptoms, they're not allowed in, basically. Bloss says, the stick is ready and waiting. John says, looking forward to getting back to the centre. Wendy says, wow. Bloss says she's had her jab. And Phil says, well done. I actually got my letter from the doctors today for the jab.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had my letter 3 weeks ago, and I did ring up and they told me to wait for a phone call, and I'm still waiting. I've not had mine yet.
Yeah, I've had my letter because I'm allowed to have it anyway because I'm now classed as a frontline worker.
Yeah.
So I'm allowed to have it anyway. And I phoned to try and get, I went on the website and the nearest one's Leicester. Says, I ain't going Leicester. There's one at the leisure centre. So I phoned them and she said, the leisure centre's full. And she says, you can go Friday to one in Nuneaton. I says, I'm working Friday. Can I not go tomorrow or Thursday? No, that's the only appointments they got.
Yeah. I mean, they did say to me I could just go down to one of the centres, but that's not really an option at the minute. So I did have a look online anyway, and it was sending me, if I'd have booked it online, it was sending me to the centre of Leicester or to Tamworth or somewhere else that was like 20 odd miles away, Derby or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Wendy has had her first job. John says, which is true, sadly common sense is in short supply.
Yeah.
This pandemic shown us one thing in it. There's not a lot of common sense. Plus says, I'm fine once I've done the stairs. And Wendy says, ring them, Jane. They are filling spaces.
Yeah. I'll chase them up again. I think they've forgotten me.
How can they forget you, Jane?
Yeah, easily. Once they see me, they think, oh God, not her again.
Well, you walk into Leicester Hospital now and say, hi, Jane, don't they?
Yeah, they do actually. Well, it's not Leicester, it's Nuneaton. And they have, there's a couple in there that have said about stuff that's going on in there, in the ward where I go. And they said that they described some of the things. And when I was in there having treatment, I did actually sit and sort of find out what was there. And there's a couple of things there on the thing. And I did say I was going to draw it for the girl and take it in next time.
Really?
Yeah.
I would imagine the hospitals are very haunted places.
Oh yeah, I have to switch completely off, because if I don't, I just see them all over the place walking all around the hospital.
Really? Strange.
Yeah.
Vaughn says they're giving the vax to all ages now. I didn't know that. I thought they just offered it me because I'm getting old.
Yeah, don't feel special.
Well, can I not just say they want to give it me because I'm special?
Yeah, mind you, it'd be good if we can all get the jabs, wouldn't it, before we get up the centre?
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's going to offer us a little bit more protection.
Yeah, Vaughn says I've had some experiences working on wards and in care homes.
Yeah. Because they some of the nurses say that when they're sort of working a bit later and when they're there on their own, they feel like they're being, somebody's behind them and watching them and stuff like that. And there is actually something there that does that. There's 2 of them in there.
What is that? The George Eliot?
Yeah, on the ward that I've been going to. So there's one elderly lady that just walks around, and she's really, really nosy, and she just walks around and she just stands next to the nurses listening and watching everything that's going on, partly because she was lonely and because they sort of, because they're really quite friendly and helpful in there, then I think she enjoys that sort of environment.
Yeah.
And she enjoys being there. But the other one, I can't quite, I just see him as a black shadow. As a black shadow sort of figure, and he's the one that stands behind people and sort of stares at people and makes them feel uncomfortable.
So he's not very nice then.
No, he's not particularly nice, but he's not evil or demonic or anything like that. He's just,
no.
But he is, yeah, I can understand how intimidating he would be.
Blimey. Then Vaughn says, unfortunately, we're not allowed mobile phones to be able to record it on the wards. That's a shame. Because there was a series about haunted hospitals, weren't there? On telly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never saw it. But I would imagine they are very, very haunted.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you think some hospitals would have really negative entities there? And if so, why would they be there?
I think it's not just the hospitals, is it? As such, it's also the sites. I think that they were built on as well.
Yeah.
And that's just sort of some of the things that you've got to sort of take into account. You know, some of the hospitals were built on sites of the old workhouses, or in you know, on you know, on different sort of pieces of land that had different things going on. So, you know, it's not just a case of they're in the hospital as such. Sometimes it's to do with the, you know, the site as well.
The
But
land,
also,
yeah.
you know, there was a creature brought back as well, wasn't there, from the hospital?
Yeah, yeah. Strange.
So there's that quite a big creature that was there in the hospital, and he'd been there for a very, very long time.
Mm.
So yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
all right now.
One says, one isn't previous member of staff, but I thought I had met her with not knowing she had passed. She is very mischievous. There is a man who comes looking for his wife in the middle of the night, often upsets ladies.
Yeah, I can understand how that works.
Yeah. And John says, is the male spiritual consultant?
No, this Black Shadow isn't. It is I feel he's something a bit older than that. I feel he's more like a sort of an ancient sort of spirit that's just it's just a place where he can actually go and just intimidate and just sort of hang around, and it's just a perfect environment for him.
Yeah. Okay, Von says the care homes, I saw a lot of black shadows night before people passed. One night, all the furniture in one lounge had been moved into the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Then Phil says, I hadn't thought of the workhouse connection. No, I hadn't either, Phil. And John says a lot of hospitals were built on asylums.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the connection. Yeah, interesting about hospitals. I've never actually stayed in a hospital though. So I've never experienced anything.
But you remember when we had that sort of exclusive sort of access to a local hospital down in their basement?
Yeah.
And that was really quite a daunting experience.
So what did you find there then?
There was several, wasn't there? I mean, I don't think I I don't think I drew any of them, but there was a lot of fear, a lot of sadness, anger, all sorts of emotions down there, because that's where they used to take the bodies, wasn't it? Before they were taken to the undertakers or whatever.
Cool. One says the hospital I work is built on the grounds of an asylum. And then she says the actual asylum is still on the grounds, St. Catherine's in Doncaster.
Yeah.
David says, is the Haunted Finders show? We should have had Tom Bookmaster on from the Haunted Finders, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. So we've just been having a general chat, really, asking some questions. There's not many minutes to go now, so I think we're just really excited about getting back to the centre now and starting our work again.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time, too long. So there's no more questions. So like Jane said, there's lots of new shows coming on the Haunted Antiques page. So check them out. We're hoping to have a show on between 7 and 10 every night of the week. And then we'll throw some special lives in as well from the centre. So any last things, last thing you want to say, Jane, before we finish?
No, just hang on in there, people. You know, we're nearly there. Just be a little bit more patient. and try not to go too stir crazy over the next couple of weeks. But the light is at the end of the tunnel, so just hang on in there, and hopefully we will all be allowed out soon.
Yeah. So there's no more comments, so we might as well end it there, might we, Jane?
Yeah.
I'll go and have.
Well, thank you.
I'll go and have a cup of tea.
Yeah, tea time. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you for all your participation and everything else. It's great to have you all joining us and just joining in with the chat. So we will see you all soon. So take care. Good night and
bye everybody.